epilepsy.
I didn't bring enough money for cab fare.
That's okay. It's cheaper to get mugged. Let's walk.
For decades, Terry Garr was open about her battle with multiple sclerosis. She died at her home in LA today at 79, surrounded by family and friends. Tonight here, Terry Garr in her own words on her personal battle and her optimism.
I've been very, very lucky because I've had a very slow progression with this. If I've had it for 20 years, the MS. So I'm really very grateful, and I find it very important to keep an optimistic attitude and to, I know it seems kind of Pollyanna, but I try to, make the best of it.
Her optimism. Tonight, Mel Brooks paying tribute, saying her humor and lively spirit made the young Frankenstein set a pleasure to work on. Her German accent, he said, had us in stitches. I'm David Muir. I'll see you tomorrow. Good night.
We have had cooler temperatures over the last few days, but we are warming right back up into the 80s on a Wednesday, then a warm Halloween on tap, and it looks like we could stay dry as we head into the first week in November. I'll have a look at those rain chances and temperatures coming up.
Right now on News Channel 6 and 7, as the general election is just a week away, we meet the candidates vying to be the next sheriff of Aiken County. And concerns about water bills in Augusta, why the utilities director says you may be paying more. Your news at 7 starts now.
Live from Television Park, this is WJBF News Channel 6 at 7.
Good evening, everyone. You're watching News Channel 6 at 7. I'm Dee Griffin. Thanks so much for joining us. Coverage you can count on begins as we're just 1 week away from the presidential elections, and Georgia continues to break early voting records. Artisans Chaudhry reports. D.net. Well, with 1 week until Election Day, candidates are making their final push for votes. Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Talk spoke with Democratic Sheriff candidate Lucas Grant.
Lucas Grant is a Wagner Police Department sergeant and a law enforcement veteran. He says he helped take down nearly 100 gangs, seized more than 250 guns, has a nearly 95% arrest and conviction rate in homicide cases.
13 of those years over at the largest full-service sheriff's office in Georgia. I chose to go over there because working 1 year there is equivalent to 5 years experience anywhere else in the CSRA.
We caught up with him while he was canvassing neighborhoods for his campaign. He's knocking on doors, sharing his plans, and passing out information. His priorities are clear. Grant sees a pressing need for school safety. He says 22 of the 29 schools lack resource officers.
I don't want our parents sending their children to school, grandparents sending their children to school, and having to worry because we don't have an officer in those schools. I'm going to address that immediately.
He plans to increase certified officers and create specialized traffic and drug units. He hopes to fill vacancies through grant writing and improve response times.
That way that we can start reducing these traffic accidents and traffic deaths, but also find wanted subjects on these traffic stops. I'm going to bring a drug interdiction team because we have 39 miles of interstate, not even patrolled. So how do you think that narcotics or trafficking happens? Because we're not out doing our job.
Grant wants to create a recruiting division and training facility to attract top candidates. He's also launching programs like Kids and Cops to connect kids with police.
Through that, we're going to be able to build relationships with our youth, educate our youth, and they're going to see that we are here for them.
Lucas Grant wants everyone to know he's committed to serving them by being approachable, aware, and accountable. You can learn more about him at grantforsheriff.com. Early voting continues now until November 2nd. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. In North Augusta, I'm Aiken Bureau Chief Sean Cabbage-Talk, WJBF News Channel 6.
Marty Sawyer is the Republican candidate in the race for sheriff of Aiken County. He is a captain at the Aiken Department of Public Safety.
Started out as a volunteer fireman with GVW Fire Department when I was 16 years old, and I've been serving the public ever since. Plenty of programs out there, for drug rehab, mental health issues, and as the sheriff, I would want the sheriff's department to join up with those groups and let's help prevent these people from getting on drugs. Let's help them get off drugs. There needs to be some programs when they get out of jail.
The general election is 1 week from today. Well, it's time now for a first look at our weather, and Chief Meteorologist Jenna Petracci joins us now, and I vote that it was a nice day. No sun, but it was still a nice day.
It I mean, we're back to the typical fall-like temperatures, and we're also back to just the slightest amount of rain. Yes, you are actually seeing some green here on Live Viper 6, but these are sprinkles, so you may have run into a few drops here and there, but it's really not amounting to much measurable rain. At the most, some trace amounts from Bamberg County up to around Saluda. Right now, Denmark, Bamberg to the south of Earhart, there's a little bit of green popping up, and as we zoom out here, that is it. Earlier, you can see some of the sprinkles made their way into Aiken County, and this has been going on and off throughout the day, but the rest of us are dry. Swainsboro completely dry with a stunning sunset as usual. Always love to show this camera view around this time. This is our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. Today our temperatures were right around average. Started out our Tuesday in the upper 40s, climbed to a high of 74, and no measurable rain at Augusta Busch Field. We're currently sitting in the 60s with the exception of Bamberg right at 70, Evanger at 67, 66 in Allendale, Aiken the coolest spot at only 64, 68 in Wrightsville, and 66 in Lincolnton. On satellite and radar, we have high pressure to our west, so it's dry completely, but we also have these scattered showers anywhere from around Wilmington down to the Florida Peninsula, on and off rain chances if you're around the coast and, of course, here in town. For the rest of our Tuesday evening, though, we will be dry other than those sprinkles, and temperatures will be mild tonight, low to mid-60s, but then falling into the upper 50s when you're headed out the door tomorrow morning. Low 80s return, though, tomorrow afternoon. So we will see those low 80s as we go into our Halloween. It will be a very warm one. So how long will the warmer temperatures last, and do we have another chance of rain coming our way? I'll have all the details on that coming up in the full forecast, but back to you, Dee.
All right, thanks so much. We'll see you then. Augusta Utilities customers are worrying about their water bills after Hurricane Helene. Some people thought the bills would drop because water was out after the storm. Here's Isabella Moody with the story.
The director of Augusta Utilities tells me the bill is from water usage from before the storm and not related to broken pipes. But they are adjusting the bill for those who may have had broken pipes during the storm.
We're taking storm protocols. However, we just need to know about it. And so give us a call. We'll work with you on making sure that everything is okay as we transition back into normal operations around the city.
One person I spoke to who was in town from Florida because her daughter's home was destroyed during Helene. They had to transfer her account to an apartment and told me that it is not an easy time.
It's frustrating for her because she's in the nursing school and the bills is high. They don't have a place to live. Right now, we are here to connect it for them to have water in the new apartment that they are renting, but it's frustrating. Everything is high.
Vine told me they are making sure to take care of issues like these. They just need to be aware. For those who have to move homes after the storm, they are not charging the $20 to $25 transfer fee. They also plan on doing a system-wide credit due to the water being shut off for some time, but want people to know this may take a while to roll through the billing system.
We need to make sure that we do get it shut off so they can notify our dispatch and they'll add it to the list to make sure it's turned off. They'll take a reading on it to make sure there's no consumption during that time. We're also waiving transfer fees for people that are affected by the storm.
In other news, if you want to work at next year's Masters Tournament, here's your chance. A job expo will be held on Thursday, November 14th at the Hub for Community Innovation near the intersection of Walton Way and 15th Street. Tournament officials will be looking to hire for concessions, hospitality, culinary, merchandise, and security positions. You can also apply online now. We have all of this information at our website, WJBF.com.
Hey there, Georgia. I'm John Crow with your Cash Free Cash.
I called Austin Jackson. The settlement that I received was life-changing. All my bills are paid, and I'm doing well.
Next, get the latest video in one click at WJBF.com.
Now to Jefferson County, where a suspect accused of killing 19-year-old Kaya Shields is behind bars. Jesse Brown Jr. is charged with murder in the death of Kaya Shields. Shields' family and members of the community relieved about this new development in an ongoing investigation. Hannah Latier has more.
In the past year, many people in Rennes have advocated for putting an end to gun violence and finding the person who killed Kaya. Now, this arrest is providing a sense of justice and closure in this tragic case.
That's the call I've been waiting for.
Sharika Pitts, Kaya's mother, tells us she was losing hope her killer would be found.
I cried to God, I prayed to God to not let me have those feelings and those thoughts of not giving up, because she deserves justice. And we all deserve justice and closure and peace and answers.
The feeling when she finally got her answer can only be described as...
It felt like a ton of bricks just lifted off me. It felt good to hear that they arrested him for killing her. It felt good. It really did.
The community rallied around Sharika during her darkest time and even put up reward money for information in the case.
Because this is a hard pill to swallow, losing your only child or a child. So, no one should have to bury their own children. But it was amazing. It felt good to have the community behind me, in front of me, beside me. It felt good.
Although Sharika still wants to know why her home was targeted, she feels safer knowing Brown is off the streets. She wants to use Kaya's story as a platform to help end gun violence.
I really hope that this case brings light to gun violence, and that people would think twice about pulling out a gun, because a bullet has nobody's name. That bullet could have struck me. It could have struck anybody. And we just want them to put down the guns and just think before you take an innocent person's life.
Now, this investigation is ongoing and more arrests are expected. If you have any information about this case, contact the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office or the GBI, and we'll have those phone numbers at WJBF.com. In Rennes, Hannah Latier, WJBF News Channel 6.
What's the big secret?
Now, your most accurate forecast with WJBF Live 5/6.
Welcome back. I hope you're enjoying the cooler temperatures we're having on this Tuesday. It was another day of 70s, and that will be the last one for a few days. We are warming up tomorrow, and it will also be dry starting tomorrow. And today was pretty much dry as well. This is it when it comes to the rain. A couple sprinkles have made their way into Richmond County just around 30 minutes ago, but even those faded away. Now we're just left with a little bit of activity in Bamberg County, but this is a few drops of rain. That's about it. Check out our Terry Lambert Hyundai Skyview cam. We have some spooky skies here as we get ready for the Halloween holiday to come in just a couple days. Some orange colors out there, definitely appropriate for this time of the year. High pressure and control to the west of us, so that's why things are dry and actually clear in parts of western Georgia and further towards the west of that. A few spotty showers down there in Louisiana, and then of course spotty showers in our neck of the woods as well. We have this onshore flow coming in with those showers anywhere from around Myrtle Beach down to Florida. Our temperatures right now are in the mid to upper 60s, so we're all below the 70-degree mark, and tomorrow morning we'll be dipping down into the upper 50s. Possible patchy fog when you're headed out the door. Mix of sun and clouds throughout the day as we heat up to 80 degrees. By Halloween, high of 83, and when the kids are out trick-or-treating, it's really not going to be too chilly at all. We're talking temperatures around the 70s, even until the 9 o'clock hour, and then a low of 57. So when it comes to our Halloween climate stats, our average is around 75, so this is definitely an above average Halloween forecast. The warmest was back in 2016, a high of 89, which isn't too hard to believe considering we were at 88 degrees just a few days ago. We won't get quite that warm again, but we will see those low 80s Thursday and even into the first week in November. You can see the rain chances though as we head into the new month, still not looking very promising. It is for now pretty much guaranteed that this will be the longest dry stretch of weather we have ever had in the Augusta area, and pretty much all of our surrounding communities as well have been very dry other than a few sprinkles. Tomorrow morning, other than the patchy fog, not much going on, so completely dry for our Wednesday and then a repeat for Thursday as we go into Halloween. Notice there is a cold front knocking on our door though. This will be a pretty strong system as it moves into the Tennessee and Mississippi Valley region, but once it goes into Alabama and then goes into Georgia after that, notice it runs into some dry air and just sorts to fall apart. So really not looking like we'll see any rain from that, just some cloud cover. And no rain expected from the tropics, at least for now. We're watching 2 areas of possible development from Halloween into the first week of November. The chance is around medium chance for this area in the Caribbean Sea, low chance here in the Atlantic. We'll keep a close eye on them, but it doesn't look like we'll be impacted. Our 10-day forecast showing partly cloudy conditions and dry weather into next week with warm temperatures. We'll be right back.
Hey, Augusta and Aiken. Southeast Pro Masters If you've been injured, we take immediate action to get you the help you need. The call.
As soon as I called Austin Jackson, I was very assured and at ease.
The response.
They handled everything so that I could focus on getting better.
The work.
They took on the insurance company for me.
The result.
I am very happy with the settlement I received. That's why you get the Augusta guy.
Call Austin Jackson, the Augusta guy, 706-724-7224.
Donald Trump has always heating and AC pros.
Well, things got really freaky for some drivers in Arizona. A Michael Myers lookalike was seen walking between cars and knocking on windows while everyone sat in gridlock. I would just be fit to be tied. When one of the drivers started to blast the Halloween movie theme music, this guy really got into character. He loved that, definitely. We were in Atlanta a couple of years ago, I think it was, and Comic-Con was going on, and we like to drive around on Peachtree while that's going on. I hate Pennywise. Pennywise scares me. This character walked out and saw me like going like this and came to the car, and I was like, oh no, oh no, 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 no.
Yeah.
And my family laughed. I started crying.
Oh yeah, clowns are a no
I
for
do not do
me.
clowns.
Yeah, I don't like haunted hay rides or haunted houses. So I would not be a fan of being stuck there in my car.
No,
Oh, man.
I can't do it.
Yeah, no, that's a no for us.
They cannot play in my face. I do not. I start crying. It's horrible. So I'm glad I'm not alone. Well, thank you so much for joining us. Entertainment Tonight is next.